Hello and welcome to Rev Sports. I'm Gargi Rao. Joining me for the show is Shamik Chakravarti and Shubhayan Chakravarti. Me and Shubhayan are joining from Ahmedabad, where tonight India will practice from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. There will be a press conference ahead of that practice session. But today we're talking about Varun Chakravarti. We've had a lot of discussions about Abhishek Sharma, Ishan Kishan, the Surya Kumar Yadav, and Tilak Verma partnerships, and of course the entire batting lineup. But today we're going to focus on India's bowling, which has seemed to be the trump card throughout this World Cup. Shamik, I'll start with you. You were the one that suggested that we talk about Varun Chakravarti in this show. And you've been sort of telling me off camera about his entire journey. You covered his debut. And from then on to now, being one of the most trusted bowlers in the Indian lineup to get you those important breakthroughs. Tell us about Varun's journey.
Shubhan also covered his T20 World Cup debut. He was there also in Dubai in 2021. Shubhan was there. So the fact is that in that game, I think he was fast tracked to the Indian team based on his IPL performances. And he was like a rabbit caught in the headlights. The way Rizwan and Babar treated him, the sweeps, the footwork, and he didn't have a plan B. Fact of the matter is that as Pakistan won by 10 wickets, he was made the scapegoat. He was the newcomer. He was made the scapegoat because every other bowler failed. Shami gave away a lot of runs. Bumrah was not, very impactful either. But he had to carry the can, Varun Chakravarti, and it can happen to a youngster. And it felt like he will never play for India again. Credit to Gautam Gambhir and the selectors to give him a second chance. And in between, what happened? From a World Cup to World Cup, Barun, from a side spinner, he has become an oval spinner. He bowls everything. He bowls a finger span googly. These days rarely does he bowl a carom ball, but he has added and he has played so many matches, TNPL, every league, domestic cricket, and there is no substitute for uh, having game time. You can practice for hours and hours at the nets, but in matches in precious situation, it is where you can show your true colors in the sense in a positive way. So Varun did that, and he is reaping the rewards of the hard work at this moment in time in Asia. Overall, if you ask me, Jasprit Bumrah remains India's biggest match winner across conditions, if it is Australia, England. But in Asia, Varun Chakravarti is a bigger match winner. He's even a bigger match winner than Bumrah. And he has given the Indian team such a confidence that even if India, for example, in a game, if they fold up for 155, they can still back themselves because once Varun has the ball, then the game changes.
Shubhayan, as Shomik said, Varun Chakravarti from debuting for India and from that to now becoming one of the most important cogs in the wheel for the Indian bowling lineup. After Jasprit Bumrah, when it comes to the spinner, it's definitely Varun who's leading the spin attack at this point. What sort of journey has he had so far that led him to become the kind of Varun Chakravarti that we're seeing right now?
What happened? Yeah, yeah, am I audible? Yeah. So during the 21 T20 World Cup, which Shobita mentioned, he was carrying a knee injury. He was carrying a knee injury, so he was not at his best fitness. He was struggling with his running. He was a bit heavier. He's much fitter version of Varun Chakravarti right now. And after he got dropped from that World Cup, he in the KKR camp, Sunil Narayan took him under his shadows, trained him properly. Guided him all through his journey, and during this phase, he worked on his fitness as well. He became the leaner version of Varun Chakravarti, fitter version of Varun Chakravarti. Played domestic cricket, club cricket. He was everywhere. Worked on his variations as well, his pace, everything. He always had variations. He was always a clever bowler. He's a very well educated guy. Very thoughtful about his what he wants to do inside the field, outside the field. He visualizes things properly before every game. So He's a proper operator. And now, Shomikta mentioned that he's the biggest match winner in Asian conditions. I would say he's the biggest match winner across conditions. He does not require conditions because he thinks from his head, and he knows where to bowl. Even if you look at, he was not there in Australia properly, but even in conditions where there's a proper bounce, where the ball is bouncing, where the ball is it's not a slow turner, there also Varun Chakravarti can vary his pace, his variations, to bamboozle the opposition batter. So he's a clever thinker of the ball, and whenever a bowler is intelligent, whenever a bowler is street smart, he will always pick up wickets. And Varun Chakravarti, he is the biggest match winner in this team right now, regardless of the pace, be it power play, middle over, death over. He has done it all. He can do it all, and that matureness is showing in his performance right now. He does not show much. I was talking to a Pakistani journalist in Colombo. He said, "यार वरुण तुम्हारा कुछ expression ही नहीं दिखाता. जब विकेट लेता है छक्के खाता है एक ही विकेट एक ही एक्सप्रेशन रहता है." So people acknowledge that it's very similar to what Sunil Narayan used to do for KKR. Pick up plenty of wickets, be economical, but okay, it's job done. It's like that for Varun Chakravarti. So whenever you have that kind of operator, similarly with Jasprit Bumrah also, he does not show too many emotions. So it's these two weapons of Indian team. I think they are taking this team. They have made this team into a dangerous T20 side that they are. Yes, the batting has always done well in Indian conditions, in conditions which suit the batters. But Bumrah, Varun, players like these have made it what they are right now. A very dangerous team to take on. Gargi.
Bharat, even though Varun Chakravarti is so important in the team, he is one of the most penetrative bowlers. But at the same time, he still somewhat goes under the scanner. What is your technical analysis of the way that he's progressed in the past couple of years and has turned into this beast?
Perhaps everyone expects him to succeed all the time, so maybe that's the reason. Because it's a given that Varun Chakravarti will take a couple of wickets in every game. Maybe that is the reason why he kind of goes under the radar. Yes, he's a complete T20 spinner. At present, I understand Rashid Khan has taken a lot of wickets, but in 2026, Rashid Khan has by now has played so many games that I guess Varun Chakravarti, I would say, is a better spinner than him. That is at present. So yes, he has all the skills. He's someone who imparts enough overspin on the ball. If needed, he can still bowl a little bit of side spin like in the past. I saw it in a couple of Vijay Hazare Trophy games last season, 2024-25. That is when he was imparting some side spin as well. So that is one thing. He has both overspin and side spin. Second thing is he bowls quick through the air. So even if you pick his googly, first of all, picking his googly is not so easy because it's not different from the leg break that he bowls. That is something that you usually don't see with a lot of spinners. Traditional spinner means back of the hand. You can see what is the googly, where is the googly coming from, but that's not necessarily the case with Varun Chakravarti. But even if you pick him, the kind of pace at which he bowls and the kind of bounce that he gets, it's not so easy to get underneath the ball and smash it for a six. I think that goes against a lot of batters because even if you're picking it and trying to smash it across the line, it's sitting very much higher up on the splice of the bat. So I think that is what really helps Varun Chakravarti. So he's getting that kind of intensity behind the ball or the energy behind the ball because of his run up. So it definitely needs his run up to be very much intense. That's something that his coach Pratibhan also told me that he needs his run up to be really intense. Maybe that is the reason why India don't really select him in ODI crickets because they fear that if he gets injured somewhere, then it would really go against the Indian setup, especially the T20I setup. So yeah, he's very much a complete spinner. People have talked about how you can, if you can pick his googly, maybe you can play him out reasonably well. Although he has two types of leg breaks now, but still, a large portion of the deliveries are googlies. So, but it's easier said than done, right? Because as I noted, it's not so easy to pick this guy's googly. It's not like the traditional back of the hand googly that you see with a lot of other spinners. And actually, after failing 2 3 times, Harry Brook picked him once last season, last year. He picked him once, But what did Varun Chakravarti do? He went wider of the went wider of off stump. Harry Brook tried to cover it because he thought he had covered it, the googly, and it went and rattled off stump. So that's something that tells about Varun Chakravarti's bowling smarts, because he definitely was picking the googly in that particular game after failing in 2-3 matches. Even then, he was flummoxed. And his coach also talked about tender dismissal against Livingstone. Maybe it was 2024 IPL when it went as per what he planned. Maybe it was quicker delivery that he bowled. I think it was a leg break the first time he bowled the conventional type of leg break, and he again cleaned him up. So that tells you something about how Varun Chakravarti has touched maybe spin bowling or nirvana or whatever it is in T20 cricket, because whatever is planning, it's basically happening. The only thing maybe that can go against him, hopefully, thankfully, this batter is not around in T20 the World Cup. That is Heinrich Klaasen. He's someone who has taken advantage of Varun Chakravarti whenever he bowls a little bit shorter. And when you do that, Varun Chakravarti has a tendency to bowl shorter and shorter in length. So once or twice it has gone against him when Heinrich Klaasen was batting. But Heinrich Klaasen obviously is not a part of the South African setup anymore, and Varun Chakravarti will be fine with it.
Yep. And, Bharat, you mentioned Harry Brook, and now somehow when I hear the name Harry Brook being mentioned, I can only remember the captain's AI creation that ICC has posted for the Super 8s, and none of them look like their real selves. There's a lot of criticism going around for that particular artwork on social media. And, we're all talking about what does this do to artists, real artists who are possibly missing out on jobs and all of that. But that's not a discussion for us. We're sports journalists. Which brings me back to the question, Shomik. Shomik has joined us back. When we've talked in depth about India's batting lineup, but we haven't really, sort of looked back on the 4 matches and how the bowling team has performed. What is your assessment so far? Do you think India's bowling looks much better than India's batting?
No, India are an all-round team. It's not about bowling or batting. Bowling at this moment in time, and that's what good teams do. Because when your batting is not firing on all cylinders, the bowlers complement. Sometimes in matches you will see the bowlers are not firing on all cylinders, where the batsmen will complement. That's how a top team works, and India have been showing that. Sorry. But Gargi, I think a little bit of Varun, and also we can look into a bigger picture, which is that, see, we keep hearing about the stuff that modern day T20 cricket don't allow one-dimensional cricketers or one-skilled cricketers. It is about the multi-skilled cricketers. Once again, Varun, the likes of Varun and Jasprit Bumrah, uh, gives us the assurance. They give us the assurance that if you are absolutely top drawer, then you walk into the side despite not being a multi-skilled cricketer. Yesterday during innings break, I was having an informal conversation with Wasim Akram. And Wasim Bhai was telling, he was suggesting what should be Pakistan's combination for the Super 8 games against New Zealand, what should be their bowling combination at Pallekele when they will move there for the next two Super 8s matches. But at the end of the day, the crux of the matter was, if you are a match winner, if you have a skill set, a single skill set, as good enough to single-handedly win your side a game, then you don't need a multi-skilled cricketer. And Varun and Jasprit Bumrah, they are the rare breed at this moment in time in world cricket. But Varun, Bumrah, they showed that, they attest that you can be just one skilled cricketers, but if you are a player good enough to single-handedly win your side a game, then that's good enough. Just one more thing, that if you look at Varun, he can't bat. He is not a gun fielder. He is very average fielder, but he is the first name on India's team sheet.
Shubhayan, 4 matches so far. What is your assessment of the bowling lineup? Can you say that this is a bowling lineup that can be put out there to defend any sort of total?
I feel so. I feel so. They have all the bases covered. All types of player, all types of bowler, and they have all done well. Yes, they will go for runs in matches here or there, and that's a given. With the kind of cricket that is being played, there will be dew also in some of the games. So, bowlers are bound to go for runs with flatter decks, shorter boundaries. It's all right. But the kind of Arsenal Indian team have, look at Bumrah. He's moving the ball since he has been instilled as a power play bowler. Once again, he's moving the ball both ways, creating troubles. Arshdeep Singh, his partner, he's always among wickets. You have a option of Jasprit Bumrah, who can bowl with the new ball as well, can bowl in the middle over phase as well. So Hardik Pandya gives this team a lot of balance. This bowling attack, a lot of balance, and you have the plethora of spinners that you have. Akshar Patel, people don't talk about him, but he has been performing. He has been plucking wickets for them, bowling economical spells, tight spells for a while now. Not only in this World Cup, but for a while now. And it's a shame that people don't talk about Akshar Patel's contribution with the bat and with the ball. And when the central contract was also released, I was baffled to see him in that C category. He's one of the most valuable players right now in Indian cricket setup. Not only in this format, but in ODIs, in Test, not so that much because Jadeja is still around the corner. But Akshar Patel is your Mr. Dependable in this team. You have a Kuldeep Yadav, one of the best left arm leg spinners in the world, or even if you put out Varun Chakravarti, then he is your uh, best spinner across formats. So you have a Kuldeep Yadav, you have a handy utility player in Washington Sundar as well. You have options of Abhishek Sharma, Tilak Verma, who can bowl. Surya sometimes try Rinku Singh, the off spinner as well. So this team has players, multi-skilled players who can win you matches, and bowlers who can be devastatingly effective in certain conditions against certain teams in certain phases. So Gautam Gambhir, and credit to Gautam Gambhir, how he has built this bowling unit. Yes, you can say, oh, Jasprit Bumrah was there before him, Arshdeep Singh was there before him, Varun played before him, but to bring in Varun, instill that confidence again. We are talking about T20 cricket, but when Champions Trophy happened, he pull in Varun Chakravarti because of the Dubai conditions, and made him work there, and that move clicked, did wonders for the Indian team. So this team has all the bases covered, and is perhaps the best bowling unit, the most complete bowling unit that any team has in this T20 World Cup. Kargi.
Bharat, there's a comment here which I think you should take. Where did it go? Abhijit Basak is asking, fifth bowling option. Is it a weakness for us, and will big teams exploit this?
Not too sure it's a weak link as such. If you look at the Indian bowling
Hardik
lineup, you will
Pandya is
have.
your fifth bowling option. Hardik Pandya is your fifth bowling option.
So he was coming down to that. If you look at India's bowling lineup, it is Bumrah. If you look at their main attack, Arshdeep Singh. You look at Akshar Patel, who's a very good defensive spinner in limited overs cricket. Then you have obviously Varun Chakravarti, and then you still have Hardik Pandya. A Saban, I think, in T20 cricket is a very, very useful, more than a useful bowler, because you can bowl that hard length. You don't get too many pace bowling all-rounders who can bat at number six and still hit the deck hard, ball that hard length. It is something that he can do. He can swing the ball. He is someone who has a very decent short ball. We have seen it in this T20 World Cup as well. So he's someone, I think he's all the skills. He can even bowl that slower short ball. We saw that even in the game against Netherlands, he was bowling quite a few slower short balls. Although in the second innings, it seemed as if the ball was not gripping much. It didn't really help him when he bowled that slower short ball. But he definitely can do that as well. So he has all the weapons in his armor. So I won't say it is a weak link. Even if you want the sixth option,
Oh, I
bowler as
think,
well. So
okay.
I think they have all the bases covered.
All right. Final couple of questions on the show. Let's go to the comment section. There is one question here. Martin Kite is asking, yesterday, Zimbabwe had a great start. Their opening batters played 64 balls with a strike rate of 130. Why are the Indian openers failing? Shomik.
There would be successes and failures in cricket, Gargi. I mean, Zimbabwe yesterday, but look at the consistency of the Indian openers. Look at the consistency of Abhishek Sharma over the last 2 years. He has scored 3 ducks. Ishan Kishan, Indian openers are not failing. Ishan Kishan played a match-winning knock against Pakistan. So how can you say that Indian openers are failing? Yes, Abhishek Sharma has scored 3 ducks. It can happen. It is not. I mean, success is not linear in sport. It is not. Yeah, and I mean, out there in the middle, robots are not playing. That they are being programmed in a certain way. They will go out there and score this a certain amount of runs. That that doesn't it doesn't work like that in sport. So Zimbabwe have been playing brilliant cricket, and Zimbabwe. The biggest thing about Zimbabwe is that they have shared the mindset of minnows. They have started to believe. Until yesterday, it was looking almost improbable that chasing down a target of around 180, batting second at Premadasa, they showed, and against a very good Sri Lankan attack, they did that. So credit where credit is due. But at the same time, India, uh, basically the undertone of this question is why Abhishek Sharma is failing. It's not because Ishan Kishan has been scoring runs. Why Abhishek Sharma has been failing? Abhishek Sharma is still the number one batsman in the in T20 cricket. So it can failures and success are part of cricket, a part of sport. I don't go deep into that, or I don't want to stretch as far as this question is concerned.
Okay, final question here. Once again, going to the press conference. Oh, sorry, comment section. Eduopedia is saying we should not jump the gun on Abhishek Sharma. Sachin Ravindra was woefully out of form in India New Zealand series, and come the World Cup, he has struck form. Shubhan?
Leave Abhishek Sharma alone. I'll keep on saying it. Leave Abhishek Sharma alone. Even if he scores a 30 ball 100 in the next game, I'll say leave him alone. Let him play his cricket. He will fail 90, 80 times out of 100 times, but the 10, 20 times he will click, he will win you matches single-handedly. And that's a rarity. That don't happen with every player in this format. To play with a strike rate of 250 is not easy. Uh, go to your street cricket, colony cricket, club cricket, gully cricket. Try and smash 50 runs at a strike rate of 250. You will know how tough it is. And I'm not talking even about remotely about coming close to international format. So he has achieved success the way he has been playing. That is why the entire world is talking about Abhishek Sharma, or was talking about Abhishek Sharma before the start of this tournament, because he has achieved what no other player apart from maybe Chris Gayle has achieved in this particular format. So to bat at a strike rate of 200 plus, have an average of around 40, it's not a easy thing. So please leave him alone. If even if you're writing on something on social media, write about all the 10 players. Leave Abhishek Sharma alone. He will be fine. He will score runs. He will win you matches, not later in this T20 World Cup only. So the more you talk about him, the more you write about him, drop him, what's happening, why is he not scoring runs, the more pressure you are putting on him. Even if he reads or does not read, it will put a pressure on him, because ultimately people will talk about him and are talking about him. So leave him alone, let him bat, let him figure out the way he figured out the way to have a average of 40 and a strike rate of 200 in this format. He will figure out a way of coming out of this slump. So don't worry about him, he'll be fine.
Hopefully, he's being protected from outside noise at this point. But it's very difficult to with the age of social media and a phone in your hand. You are bound to go out there and check what is being written about yourself, unless you have some really good, you can limit yourself from that. But that brings us to
No,
the
as
end of
far
the
as I
show.
know, he's not using social media.
Okay. But sometimes it happens.
Then
Google is
Shubhan,
also
he will
there.
prosper in life. He will prosper in life. He's not using social
100%.
media. He will prosper in life.
Maybe for the World Cup, he's not using it.
He's afraid of his coach. He's afraid of his coach. He's dead scared of his
Ah,
coach.
okay. We're all
Good
we're all
boy,
afraid
very
of our
sweet boy, very
coaches.
good boy.
All right. That brings us to the end of the show. 5:45. There is a press conference. Let's see who comes out to answer all of our questions. And then from 6 to 9, India practices at the Narendra Modi Stadium. Me, Shubhayan and Rohit will be there on ground to give you all the updates. Don't forget to join us then. Thank you so much and have a good day.
And Gargi,